What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Attack on Cowboys. And today we have a nice little news roundup consisting of Trevon Diggs got benched, Dak Prescott's masterclass, Jaydon Blue is on the way, the Cowboys are getting some more help, and much, much more. Let's get right into this one as we start off our week of Dallas Cowboys content. Y'all be sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and take advantage of that new feature and hype the video for your boy as well. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. But first, word from our sponsors. Football season is in full swing, and thanks to our sponsors, Game Time Tickets, you can get the best deals on all of your favorite Dallas Cowboys matchups this season, including the upcoming Washington Commanders matchup back at AT&T Stadium. My favorite part about Game Time Tickets is you can open this app and you can literally go in here and find some of the best deals with 100% guaranteed authenticity on these tickets, so you don't have to worry about getting gypped out or anything. It's called the Game Time Guarantee, and just like this 100% authenticity, you can 100% get some damn good deals with Game Time. The app is easy to use, and it takes all the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets. All you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. After that, you're off to the races. I love the fact that as soon as you open the app, it shows you the games and different tickets near you in your area. Once you click into it, you'll literally be able to scroll through, see which tickets you want. It'll show you a different preview of what the area looks like for the tickets. The best part about it, the prices you see, they aren't just a tease, man. Those are with all the fees already included. So you don't have to worry about getting surprised at checkout with any extra stuff. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Man, shut your up. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with Brian Schottenheimer benching Trevon Diggs. Shotty, you're speaking my language with this one, Shotty. You're speaking my language. It's Brian Schottenheimer in response to Trevon Diggs not starting against the Green Bay Packers. He said, quote, he's been banged up a little bit. I've been a little tough on Trevon. That right there, I've been a little tough on Trevon. That lets you know he was, in fact, benched. It wasn't just about his injury. He said, I've been tough. That lets you know, man, he's levying some consequences, some discipline against some of these guys. And I'm going to talk about probably why in just a second. Just in terms of the consistency and things like that. He kind of told us why. But, man, I thought he played really well tonight. I'm proud of him. And he did have a pretty decent game outside of a couple of very, very egregious moments, which is really the big problem with Trevon. Again, we're going to talk about it in just a second. And, you know, again, it's a similar type of thing with other guys. I mean, it wasn't just us picking on Trevon. And Trevon is a hell of a player. Trevon is a huge part of what we're trying to do. This is Brian Schottenheimer trying to keep him engaged. He's trying to over-compliment him so he doesn't lose the player because he knows Trevon is softer than baby boo-boo. Trevon is a huge part of what we're trying to do. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, we talked about the guys that stepped up in this game. And, again, I can't tell you how proud I am of those guys for answering the call the way that they did. And when you do that, guys, you're going to find a way to win, and that's coming. Okay, absolutely love this. What better way? Hey, you know what? This regime isn't afraid of sending messages, sending very loud messages to the entire organization. And one of those messages has seemed to kind of work a little bit as it pertains to just kind of changing the mentality, the disposition, and kind of the heart that these guys play with on this team. The culture is absolutely shifting. You kind of see how the Cowboys respond even on the field to adverse situations. The culture is absolutely shifting. But I love the fact that Brian Schottenheimer and his coaching staff are not afraid to send a message via disciplining one of their best players on the team. And I don't know if Trevon Diggs still is worth the best player on the team tag, but he's paid like one of the best players on the team. And I think that Trevon's biggest issue, outside of him clearly not being completely healthy, outside of that, man, his unwillingness to play physical football, his unwillingness to really play football for real is going to be his Achilles heel. It is going to be the main reason why I don't believe he's a culture fit for the Dallas Cowboys anymore. Not only a culture fit, but just where does he fit in? Do you really feel like he's leading anybody in that locker room? I don't care if he's giving the younger corners advice and all that goofy stuff that we heard about during training camp. Look at his body language. Look at how he carries himself. Look at how he speaks in the media. Just look at how Trevon Diggs carries himself on the field, and look what plays he is and isn't willing to make on the field. That play where he literally ran away from Brandon Jacobs was absolutely ridiculous. And then him making that comment after the game to where he literally said he was happy for Micah Parsons that he made that tackle that essentially saved the game for the Packers. He was happy for him in that moment. Are you fucking kidding me, Trevon Diggs? Trevon Diggs, you soft ass. I want to play cupcake, patty cake, looking ass corner. You went and got your hair done for Micah too. I didn't my peep game. You went and got your hair retwisted because your boy was coming into town, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Y'all weird. Trevon, what you got going on, man? Y'all boys, I've never seen this level of friendship before in my life in the NFL. These dudes was damn near about to get on the ground with each other. They missed each other so bad. DeMarvion was trying to go say what's up, and he had to turn around. He like, damn, them boys is into it. He like, all right, let me get up out of here. That's Debo right here. He like, let me get up out of here. They getting into their thing right here, man. Trevon literally went and got his hair done just for Micah, bro. He went and got his hair done just for Micah, bro. Y'all boys, hey, man, get this op off my team, bro. Real talk. Now, I don't care about them kind of, saying what's up and stuff. Look, Micah and Trevon are so locked in with each other. They ain't paying attention to nobody else. Donovan Ezraku tried to come up here and say what's up to Micah. Look, bro, this. Get Trevon Diggs off my team, bro. Get this dude off my team. I don't give a damn if he had a decent game, bro. The avoiding contact, the not wanting to tackle, the not wanting to play physical, the throwing yourself at the ground when you call yourself trying to tackle somebody. Even your good tackles, you just throwing yourself at somebody's feet. The best tackle I've ever seen you make was that tackle where the receiver caught that ball on the screen. His back was still turned towards you. So he couldn't lay no damage on you, so you went ahead and took advantage of that shit. That was the best tackle I've ever seen you make, bro. Diggs, combined with your comments post-game and, just seeing how pudding soft you are, I'm good, bro. And I'm glad that Shotty benched this dude because it sent a clear message to the rest of that team. If you don't want to play football, if you don't want to be physical, if you don't want to sacrifice your body for this team, then you can't be on the field for us. And it's as simple as that. So, Trevon Diggs, I'm absolutely glad that you got benched. Now, you did play well. You played better, comparatively speaking, than some of our other corners. Kyer, you know what I'm saying? So, if I had to choose between Diggs and Kyer being on the field, right now I'm choosing Diggs. I ain't going to lie to y'all. As much as Diggs has drawn my ire, I'm not going to be unrealistic. I'm choosing Diggs over Kyer right now. But this right here is another symptom of a changing culture. The fact that they were actually willing to bench Trevon Diggs. Out of all the guys they could have benched, they benched Trevon Diggs. We're going to kind of talk about why they're probably a little bit reluctant to play some other guys at some positions they really need to play other guys at. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Coach Brian Schottenheimer, in addition to kind of discussing Trevon Diggs, another guy that he's talked about that's kind of been in the proverbial doghouse a little bit is Jaydon Blue. And apparently Jaydon Blue is, quote, very close to being active on game day. Brian Schottenheimer said, quote, he's practicing really, really well. So we may be getting an extra added oomph on the offensive side of the ball by way of Jaydon Blue, although I got to say, the offense was fine. The offense is fine right now. Now, yes, I would love to see what Jaydon Blue can do, just see what we have in him. Miles Sanders hasn't been terrible, but a lot of his carries, they just feel like, man, Jaydon Blue could probably do a little bit more with him. That's the only thing about Miles Sanders that's getting me right now is when I see him get these carries and he's running the ball well, he's averaging a nice yard per carry, and he's doing a decent job, man. He's not like he's bad or anything. It's just like, damn, I feel like there's so much meat being left on the bone. Pause. And Jaydon Blue could possibly get the rest of that meat off the bone. Pause. But hopefully we will see the rookie Jaydon Blue next week, especially with Miles Sanders now kind of nursing an injury a little bit. Hopefully he kind of sits down for a week or two and we get a chance to see some Jaydon Blue. In addition to Jaydon Blue, with the fourth game now out of the way, the Dallas Cowboys could have some serious help on the way as well. Now, the Cowboys can begin their practice windows for Savon Revel, DeMarvion Overshown, Josh Butler, Jonathan Mingo, Peyton Turner, Kalen Carson, and Phil Maffa. All right, so once they open up that practice window, teams have 21 days to make a roster call-up. Overshown is not ready just yet. So that means that we have about, 2 defensive backs coming back? Really 3. Savon Revel, Josh Butler, and Kalen Carson. So 3 more defensive backs to play around with. So maybe we won't have to see practice squad guys out there anymore. DeMarvion Overshown, I'm expecting him maybe to be back in the next 3 or 4 weeks or so. Then we have Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa, the rookie running back that was kind of running like Javonte a little bit as far as just being a bruiser and just being one of those guys that can lower that shoulder and sit guys down on their ass. Phil Maffa is also going to be coming off the IR and open up his practice window, as well as one of our defensive ends, Peyton Turner. So the Cowboys get a little bit of help back, a lot of help on defense as it pertains to just guys they can just try, right? At this point, we just need to try stuff on defense because the defense has yet to really, truly wake up all the way. And quite frankly, I'm going to say this. While they did show some improvements, while there are signs of life with Matt Eberflus's scheme, and y'all, there are legit signs of life with that scheme, and we're going to kind of get into this. We're breaking down some film and stuff. There are just some serious issues with personnel, and I think DeMarvion Overshown could be a huge fix for one of our personnel issues, which is definitely the linebacker room. I think that maybe Savon Revel or even a Josh Butler could come back and help our corners and elevate our cornerback play a little bit from inside the building. Jonathan Mingo coming back and being another big body target for Dak Prescott. That's going to be huge to have that out there for Dak. And then we also have Peyton Turner, another one of those big body pass rushers. Maybe he could come out there and surprise some people, but I wouldn't expect too much from him. But either way, a lot of injuries on the return, and hopefully the Cowboys can get something out of this group of guys coming back. If they can add anything positive, even if one of these guys can come in and add anything positive to the team, that's a W. And this defense is to a point, especially with the offense playing the way it is. I need y'all to understand, the defense is honestly at a point that if we can just get it to be average, if we could just get the defense to get off the field 1 or 2 extra times on one of those third down tries, then we're honestly in good shape, man. We don't need a shutdown defense. We need a defense that can at least keep the game to about mid-20s so the offense can at least have a chance without having to necessarily be perfect every single game, right? But that's really what we're needing from our defense, and I think that if we can add a couple of guys that can make a couple of more plays to get us off the field 1 or 2 more times, 1 or 2 more extra times to steal 1 or 2 more possessions, we'll be perfectly fine as it pertains to being able to try to win some of these games, right? Now, the masterclass that Brian Schottenheimer is putting on right now will not go overlooked on my show. The Dallas Cowboys are currently the highest gaining team in the league as it pertains to yardage. They're averaging 404.3 yards per game. That is just a slight edge over the Buffalo Bills, who are currently, I think, 4-0 right now. So that kind of let you know the kind of offense the Cowboys are playing with is definitely like that of an undefeated team type of offense. All the other offenses that are ranked as high as the Cowboys in that top 5, everyone else is like 3-1 or better. So that should kind of let you know the type of offense that you're working with. Not only that, obviously you're leading the league in passing yardage right now. So Dak Prescott, he is number 1 right there, leading the league in passing yards per game. Rushing yardage, you're actually not that far behind, man. This is actually a nice change of pace for the Cowboys. You're averaging about 123 rushing yards per game, and that is with a top in the league passing game. So that 123 rushing yards per game is good roughly for about like 11th or 12th in the league or so. But as far as points per game goes, the Cowboys, they're top 5. They're top 5 in the league as far as points per game. So everything about what Brian Schottenheimer is touching right now, this team is running like a well-oiled machine, bro. Brian Schottenheimer is absolutely earning his stripes. Brian Schottenheimer, the masterclass that he just called against that Green Bay Packers team, that right there does not need to be overlooked or understated, because it is very, very impressive what he was able to do as it pertains to. I know a lot of people felt like we should have started the game out quicker, but I'm going to tell y'all something. When you come out the game and you start trying to almost play to the audience in a sense, that's when you can start making mistakes. That's when you can have those early mistakes come in where it puts your team in a bad position early and you don't really ever allow yourself to win a game. He called that game in a way where his team could calm down a little bit from the emotions of everything happening. Sunday Night Football, the beat Green Bay Packers, last time they were here, to blew us out, Michael Parsons, blah, 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 blah. He called that game, the first couple drives, from a perspective of trying to calm his team down. After that, that was a masterclass of play calling, and the only thing that you could possibly try and critique is maybe run the ball 2 more times on the goal line in overtime instead of trying to pass the ball. Go ahead and run that ball to see if you can get in that end zone, because running the ball was working and the interior of that line was moving guys around. Beyond that, though, Brian Schottenheimer, kudos to you, brother. We're going to keep an eye on everything you got going on. I don't want to spend too long kind of discussing what Brian Schottenheimer got going on, but right now, he's absolutely walked everything that he's talked as it pertains to using the run game to set up the pass, using play actions again, using the screen game, motions. Everything he discussed with us in the offseason, in the spring, he's doing in real time. And it's a beautiful thing to see, and I'm not going to overlook that. And yes, I was like everyone else when we started the game out with those 3 straight runs. I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. But then Shotty, he kicked it into gear, man. I absolutely love what our head coach got cooking. I love what he has cooking from a cultural standpoint, just from how this team fought back and punched back over and over again. And I love how he has our quarterback playing, man. Dak Prescott is on a legendary heater right now. And he may be the first guy ever to have a team with a losing record with 4 games into the season, and he'd be one of the top MVP candidates, even with that being the case. He generated his 4th most EPA, expected points added, and 2nd most win probability added, 122.8% in any game in his career against the Packers. He completed 29 of 35 passes against zone coverage for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns, man. Dak Prescott was on an absolute scorcher, bro. And he's been like that pretty much all season long. Even though the statistics haven't always kind of shown that out, he's been like that all season long. He's been on the money. And as long as Dak is playing like this, we have a chance every single week, y'all. So you're not going to ever see me get up here and start saying, oh, we have no chance at all. We're going to have a chance every single week as long as Dak Prescott is playing at this MVP level that he is playing at with right now. And making these type of throws, bro, this is the type of thing right here. This is the type of thing that makes you tell all the Dak haters, man, SYBAU. Man, SYBAU, man. When you see your quarterback start doing stuff like this, making adjustments, keeping his eyes down the field, even with pressure coming on to him, you're going to see Micah going to be in his face in just a second. Number 90 is nipping at his feet. There's Micah. He gives up on the play early because he starts complaining, so he doesn't even get to Dak. And then Dak heaves that mug, and what a damn catch, bro. Put it up in the Lou Ray, bro. Put it up in the Lou. This was absolutely gorgeous right here. And then we got our offensive line. Them boys stepped up with the absence of Booker and BB. The offensive line stepped up, and while Guyton and while Micah did look like Micah for a lot of this game on film, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, he looked like Micah for a lot of this game on field. Guyton absolutely won his reps against Micah Parsons. It's not like he was out there just getting beat like he owed somebody some money. He won his reps against Micah, and we will show that later in the week to push our agenda. But either way, man, Dallas Cowboys, everything going on. Those are the news updates. IR returns. We got Jaydon Blue hopefully going to be hitting the field soon. Dak Prescott is playing at a whole different level. Trevon Diggs' ass got benched, and I'm glad he got benched, even though he probably won't be benched next week. But he got benched, and the defense is still bad, but it's not for the reasons that you think. We will kind of get more into why the defense is the way it is a little bit later this week. But until then, appreciate you guys tuning in. Them Cows. And shout out to Game Time Tickets, a sponsor of today's video.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.